Hey everybody, Dr. Phil here. This is going to be a video on post-purchase processes, consumer satisfaction, and customer commitments in the wider context and the wider purview of consumer behavior. So let's start by talking about post-purchase dissonance. So post-purchase dissonance occurs when a consumer has doubts or anxiety regarding the wisdom of a purchase made and is a function of the following. The first is the degree of commitment or irrevocability of the decision. Number two is the importance of the decision to the consumer. Number three is the difficulty of choosing among the alternatives. And number four, finally, the individual's tendency to experience anxiety. Advertisements for high involvement purchase items, such as the use of doctors of osteopathic medicine shown here, can serve to confirm the wisdom of a purchase as well as influence new purchases. Consumers often search for information that confirms the wisdom of their purchase. To someone looking for medical care, this ad highlights that these doctors are trained to listen to patients and to consider the person within the patient. Such communications can go a long way in reducing dissonance and increasing satisfaction. Now, after the purchase is made, the consumer may utilize one or more of the following to reduce dissonance. Firstly, increase the desirability of the brand purchased. Second, decrease the desirability of rejected alternatives. Third, decrease the importance of the purchase decision. And four, reverse the purchase decision, i.e. return before use. Now, sometimes people experience what we call consumption guilt. And this is when guilt feelings are aroused by the product service use. So marketers need to focus on validating the consumption for high guilt products. And a good example, of course, as we see in the picture here, is Hershey S'mores and the premium cupcake mix. So, for some people, indulging in chocolate can cause some consumption guilt. Now, with regard to product use and non-use, for product use, retailers can frequently take advantage of the fact that the use of one product may require or suggest the use of other products, for example, dresses and shoes. So we could think of these as sort of complementary products. Retailers can promote such items. They can promote them jointly. They may display them together, or they may train sales personnel to make relevant complementary sales, and of course increase their revenue in the process. Now, some products are known to be kept on hand by consumers. That is, they stock up on certain items. In this case, a major goal of advertising should be to encourage people to consume the product at the next appropriate occasion, and perhaps even suggest situations that would be appropriate. Advertisements such as this Cholula hot sauce ad can encourage purchases, consumption of previously purchased items, or perhaps both. Now, with regard to product use, stringent product liability laws have made firms responsible for harm caused by products, not only when the product is used as specified by the manufacturer, but also in any reasonably foreseeable use of the product. Thus, when marketers discover confusion about proper use, they should engage in marketing communications to increase the chances of proper use. Now let's talk about product disposition and marketing strategy in the wider realm of disposition. Marketers must be aware of the disposition factors that ultimately affect consumer purchase decisions. Helping consumers with the disposition of a used product can help the consumer through this process. For example, developing products, packages, and programs that encourage proper disposition. Now, with regard to the purchase evaluation and customer satisfaction with respect to the evaluation process, here we see some determinants of satisfaction and dissatisfaction. Instrumental performance relates to the physical functioning of the product. Symbolic performance relates to aesthetic or image enhancement performance. And effective performance is the emotional response that owning or using the product or outlet can provide. What about dissatisfaction responses? Marketing strategy and dissatisfied consumers. So firms need to satisfy consumer expectations by one, creating reasonable expectations through promotional efforts, and two, maintaining consistent quality so the reasonable expectations are fulfilled. And that's very important if a firm differentiates, say for example, on quality, maybe their price is more, people are willing to pay that because they associate the brand or the product with good quality. Um, Very important then that those expectations are fulfilled, because if people are paying more, it will quickly be called into question. Why am I paying more if the brand isn't delivering? Now, when a consumer is dissatisfied, the most favorable consequence is for the person to communicate this dissatisfaction to the firm, but to no one else. And of course, realistically, it's usually the other way around, right? People complain to their friends, their family, their neighbors, their relatives, then maybe to the company. Unfortunately, many individuals do not communicate their dissatisfaction to the firm involved. Companies often make it difficult to complain or are unresponsive to complaints. Thus, in a way, the companies are sort of, these firms are sort of bring it on themselves because they should make it easy for people to at least voice the complaint. Many corporations are not organized to effectively resolve and learn from consumer complaints. This area represents a major opportunity for many businesses. For example, Marriott is aligning its internal processes toward proactively responding to consumer issues and needs. Marriott's Serve 360 program strives to address customer issues related to social good, like nurturing children, and natural resources, and sustainability, as shown below. Now let's talk about repeat purchases and customer commitments with respect to customer satisfaction. Repeat purchases continue to buy the same brand, though they do not have an emotional attachment to it. So an example could be like bread and milk, for example, especially milk. Switching costs are the cost of finding, evaluating, and adopting another solution. Brand loyalty involves commitment to the brand. It's a biased behavioral response expressed over time. And committed customers have an emotional attachment to the brand or firm. They'll generally stick with that brand or firm. Um, Even if they're maybe a little dissatisfied from time to time, they'll generally stick with that brand or firm. Now, a churn is a turnover in a firm's customer base. So, of course, reducing churn is a major objective of many firms today. And you may ask why. And the answer is fairly straightforward. It typically costs more to obtain a new customer than to retain an existing one. And new customers generally are not as profitable as longer term customers. So, the goal here, sort of moral of the story here, is to try, a company should, a firm should try their best to retain existing, more profitable customers than have to spend money on trying to get new ones, which will likely be less profitable. Now, do you know your Net Promoter Score? So the Net Promoter Score, typically abbreviated NPS, is an indirect word of mouth, we abbreviate that WOM, measure of true attitudinal loyalty. Now, there are three categories of consumers. The first is promoters, the number two is passively satisfied, and then number three is detractors. And we calculate the NPS, the Net Promoter Score, by taking the promoters, number one, minus the detractors, number three. Now, developing a marketing strategy for a particular segment includes identifying specific objectives to be pursued, such as number one, attracting new users to the product category, number two, capturing competitors' current customers, number three, encouraging current customers to use more, number four, encouraging current customers to become repeat purchasers, and then finally, number five, encouraging current customers to become committed customers. And remember, number five is especially important because number four and five, but definitely number five, because think about what we were just talking about. It's more profitable for a firm to hang on to their, long time repeat customers than it is to try to keep getting new ones, right? So if they're always at number one, trying to attract new users, typically those new users are less profitable and it's costing the firm more money, right? So obviously then, as a, sort of a corollary to that, we could say that a good business strategy for any firm is to do what? It's try to hang on to its longer term customers. And then five key elements to relationship marketing. Number one is developing a core service or product around which to build a customer relationship. Number two is customizing the relationship to the individual customer. Number three is augmenting the core service or product with extra benefits. Number 4 is pricing in a manner to encourage loyalty. And number 5 is marketing to employees so that they will perform well for customers. And then finally, relationship marketing. So we know that loyalty programs can be effective in generating committed customers if they understand and fulfill key customer needs. For example, successful customer loyalty programs, such as Capital One's Venture Card, are based on understanding the needs of key customers, in this case travelers, and providing benefits of value to them. Cardholders can earn unlimited double miles on everything they buy and can use those miles toward travel, such as a flight and hotel for a coastal vacation. Okay, thanks for watching this quick video, and I will see you all in a future video. Take care.